Before we start today, we're going to have a little mini lesson about overlapping. Overlapping is an important way that an artist can show space. It shows what objects are in front and what objects are behind. Let's say that we're going to draw two circles, and I want one circle to look like it's in front of the other. If I draw my first circle, and I draw my second circle right over the top, I can't tell which circle is in front because I didn't include the correct overlapping. Now, if I draw the same two shapes again, but this time my circle stops when it hits the first one, I can tell that this circle is in front because it's covering up part of my second circle. This one is in front, this one is behind. You are going to be using this trick today as you draw your cactus so that you can also show space in your artwork. Today we're going to finish drawing our Southwest pottery and add some cacti to the top. Now the first thing you can do is I researched drawing succulents and cacti. These are different desert plants that don't need a lot of water to survive, so they're going to go perfectly with our Southwest pottery unit. So I can tell by researching these succulents, they come in a lot of different shapes and colors. So after looking at some of these different spiky leaves, some of these different rounded leaves, I have a really good idea of the different types of plants that I want to add into my project. I think it looks really nice when you have a variety of different plants. That's going to make my drawing look more interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the oval of the top of my pot. Inside this oval is where my plants are going to grow from. My plan is to really fill the top of this pot with a lot of cacti. So I'm going to start with some smaller succulents in the front and then add the taller plants in the back. So I'm going to just start by looking at some images of succulents. And I saw one kind of succulent that kind of had a thick stem, and then it had sort of like some football-shaped leaves like this. And I'm still drawing pretty lightly today because just like last time, I'll probably need to erase a lot of different stuff if I don't get it right on the first try. Anywhere that my cactus overlaps the pot, I need to erase that. That way it looks like my plant is in front of the pot. Now I want all my plants to look different. So for my next succulent, I'm going to do one that has sort of more of a spiky leaf. I'm going to make this leaf go behind by jumping over. And this plant, I know from my research, is a little bit of a zigzag spiky line on the inside of some of the plants. And once again, erasing the part that goes behind the cactus. Now the last small plant that I'm going to put in front is another kind of succulent I've studied. It starts out with some little ovals in the center, and then it has some larger ovals that start to go around the outside like this. They end up kind of looking like rounded triangles. Remember to think about overlapping. Is this leaf going to go behind or in front? If it's in front of this plant, then I need to erase that plant. If it's in front of the pot, I need to erase the pot. Now, after I draw some shorter plants in the front, I can add larger plants to the back. I'm just gonna make some large bumps like so that kind of resemble a larger cactus that I've been studying. And maybe this cactus even has a flower on it. I'm just going to keep on going until my entire page is filled up with cactus. I'm just now finishing up my drawing. Wherever your cactus stops, you might need to add a little bit of soil by adding just kind of a little wavy line at the bottom so that it looks like your plants are actually growing in the pot and you can kind of see the texture of the dirt. Now, when you're sure that all of your overlapping is correct and you don't have any parts that are confusing with your overlapping, then you are ready for a Sharpie outline. The Sharpie is going to cover every single pencil line of your cacti and your pot at the bottom. So make sure that your line designs are finished being sketched out as well as your cacti. When your Sharpie outline is all finished, take a big eraser and erase any leftover pencil lines, because there's probably going to be a few of those. If you need to move your paper to the floor so that you don't shake the table during this part, your table partners would probably really appreciate that.